The time has come for lions to tell I own story. Yes, you're listening to Lion's Voice. I is Rasbatch hailing from the island of St. Croix. Yeah, I'm bringing to you Rastafari vibes. Can you feel it? Rastafari. Babylon born when Rasta come together. Can you feel it? Rastafari, because Babylon done when I and I come together. Look how we live together, look how we work together, Oh, Babylon done when Rasta come together. Haile, Rastafari, His Majesty and EmpressMenen bless. Yeah man, hailing from St. Croix, Rasbatch, I hear you. Love, I.
This is Mama Thea of Asli Pure, and when I want to hear the story from the lion and the lioness, I listen to Lion Voice with Ras Tafari.
Number two is that economic foundation. We should be able to employ our queens, and we're working on this. Should be a, a focus. You know what I mean? Every brethren uh, have that focus to build a family business sufficient that it can employ the queen, so that the queen is not taking direction from a next person or institution, taking up our time outside of the family vibration, you know. And we know, even myself, I queen work outside of the gates, and you know what I mean, we have to balance, but the goal, you know what I mean, for I and I as brethren should be to create the opportunity for our queen to work, and then by extension for our youths to have employment within a family business.
What do you have to tell the people about Ras Tafari?
Light to the world. King of kings and the conquering lion of the tribe of Judah. I like himself. Where's right ruler? Hey yo! Yeah. Hail them high, hail the black king, born the 23rd of July. So tell them guy, who praise God up in the sky, it's a lie. The Almighty living on your night. From ancient time, them a try. Them Romans, though them just open them suit and ties. Criminals ain't got no alibi, they stole my people. Then them come without them genocide.
Are you talking about slavery?
Them couldn't kill the lion will come conquer Judah tribe. Go through tribulation, I and I strive, see sufferation, I and I still rise. That's why we tell them, in America, live Rastafari in every ghetto area. We come if you tell them, in a Toronto, straight at Ethiopia.
Those who watch the channel know we've talked about World War III, we've talked about Armageddon. All of those things, you can go forward in the episodes and watch those. We're not going to touch on that today. Today we want to focus on our Rastafari woman, because I want to see some sounds in the comment section about what the Rastafari man can do. I'm sharing my thoughts on the matter in this episode, but I want to hear from the item in the comment section what Rastafari man can do. Number one, I'm saying, is provide that spiritual leadership and guidance. Spiritual leadership and guidance. I'm saying that's number one thing that the Rastafari man can do for the Rastafari woman. When I came up in the Nyabingi order, we were taught every man is a prophet, a priest, and a king. And, you know, these were three divine elements of His Imperial Majesty and of Rastafari Chad. Prophecy is the ability to look into the future, the far eye, preparation. So when I talk about World War III, preparation, repatriation, come out of where my people, that's the prophet side of the levity. Some people don't play that side. They don't, you know, you have more socialists or, you know, the comedic Rastafari that might not be into them type of prophecy and vibration, but that is a great part of the levity, and our elders manifested it because everything that they said has come to pass. All of the choices they made have been proven correct over time. Not one thing that were pillars within the movement has been shown to be obsolete or negative. The plant-based livity, the eco-friendly, the repatriation, the black liberation, all of these are still prevalent. And these were the core tenets of the movement, in its uprising. Agribusiness, when we look at Pinnacle, all of these places, these core tenets have become, if more relevant. So the number one thing is that spiritual guidance and direction, I think, that we can help provide to black women of the earth. And there are many conscious black women. A lot of sisters come into the liberty through a king man. Many don't, and we have reason with some of them on the platform, but most come through a king man, and that's not by accident. I have been risen by the Almighty to have that impact and that influence, and by your liberty. And that's why I Queen love I so much. Is not just because we're good looking and these things, which we are. But that's not why the Queen love I. Is because over the years them see the liberty. They know that we are people of our word. We do what we say, and that is what builds the love and the trust, the dependability. So as a king man, when we say spiritual leadership, is not just to know psalms or to pray or know it or just talk about His Majesty. It's to live the kingly way, that express your divinity through the liberty. That is the number one thing that we can provide to our Rastafari woman as brethren. Culturing a sister is a sacred task. I've done it. You have a sister that just drawn to the eye, and it may not be the eye sister. It's not for the eye to sleep with that sister. It's for the eye to show her the liberty. And then when our king man comes, she's able to connect with our king man and be but sometimes she just needs a male balance. These are things that I have to learn, that discipline, to know if a queen is your queen or it's not your queen. And if it's not your queen, you don't need to sleep with her and create confusion. So these are the things that we can do as brethren. Number one is that spiritual guidance. Number two is that economic foundation. We should be able to employ our queens, and we're working on this. Should be a focus. Every brethren have that focus to build a family business sufficient that it can employ the queen, so that the queen is not taking direction from a next person or institution, taking up our time outside of the family vibration, And we know, even myself, I queen work outside of the gates, and we have to balance. But the goal, for I as brethren should be to create the opportunity for our queen to work, and then by extension for our youths to have employment within a family business that is generating enough income to be sustainable, And this is, when I tell brethren, purpose over that something there. And when you're choosing your queen, vetting your queen is someone who's, alignment and on your purpose. This is where that comes in, because the queen now, because she's in line with the purpose. Whatever your family business should be in line with that purpose, the monetization of that purpose, ideally. And the queen now gets to exercise her leadership within the business. And her, this is what Babylon has used to build to great heights. The corporate world, the black woman is in there showing all of her brilliance and hard work and late hours. That energy should be harnessed within family businesses You know what I mean? So when you're working your full time, like I and I Queen, when we come in the evening, we work on our family business, and put forward. So that is something, and that direction and leadership for the brethren is something that we should be providing our queens, is that safe space. And then number three, so the economic foundation, I think, as brethren, we have failed on this. Definitely collectively, we don't have any collective mechanisms where we're employing masses of Rastafari people. But that's going to change. We're working on that. Stay tuned to this channel and you will see the uprising, because a whole heap of projects are in development in the next 5 to 10 years. As I said, we're going to see a transformation of the Rastafari, of what Rastafari looks across the earth. The rising of Rastafari independent non-aligned media is only one aspect that you're seeing of this change that's coming. So we are, this platform and the Lion Pride, we're emblematic of what is coming. The growth, development, the change in mindset. Big up I Just Star, the mindset. The change in mindset that is taking place among all of our Rastafari, the generation that's adults now, the mature adults now, who are now taking the reins, you know what I mean, of the movement, to come together, to build the institutions, um, building on the foundation that our elders set, the mighty foundation, the global foundation that our elders set. Now the mature adults, I am in that generation, the generation of them that's seeking, and guided still by the elders. You know what I mean? We're still guided, we still get the teachings, and sit down at the foot when we can. That economic foundation that is required to take this liberty to the next level. So that is happening right now. And then the third thing, I'm only gonna give three. Again, I want to hear from the sister and them down in the comments. What can the Rastafari man do for the Rastafari woman? I said number one, the spiritual guidance and leadership. Number two, the economic foundation. Create the businesses that allow sister and them to work within the immunity and not have to go out into Babylon. That is a man responsibility. We can't look upon thing, and this is why a lot of our sisters are stressed out. Them have to go work out there. A lot of them are the main breadwinners. You know what I mean? And it's not easy. You know what I mean? When you're responsible to pay all those bills, and then Kingman still want to deal with you, and all of them something that we have to think about as Kingman to really step up. This trad take discipline. It's not a joke trad. It's not a reggae. Listen to reggae song and bona spliff trad. And I want to emphasize that. You know what I mean? A lot of people come into the liberty because it look fun, escapist. That's not the core of the liberty. If you're doing that, you're not living Rastafari. Rastafari is about work, discipline, achievement, progress. You know what I mean? Planning. When you look at Rastafari, these are the things, and this is why every brethren need to read the autobiography, if you have not, of His Majesty. And if you, that's the mindset going through your life of Rastafari. There's no other trad, you know what I mean? A lot of ones trying to change it into this and that and that and that. Big up on yourself, see if that work for the idea. It's not gonna work. I mean, I shouldn't say that because there's many ways, but one thing we know that's proven is Rastafari way. And that is what we're treading. And we are gathering the like minds who, because that is what unites I and I through the four corners. Every mansion there are ones who are hail the king in truth and in rights, and who are treading within that liberty, you know what I mean, of planning, discipline, preparation, faith, courage, just cause, you know what I mean? So again, number one is the spiritual leadership and direction that we can give to the queens. Number two is the economic foundation. And number three, of course, is the protection, just physical protection, making sure we're there for our queens. So that there's no ones that come running, you know what I mean? Recently there was, or not so recently, but there was an incident. One of our sisters in Atlanta was attacked, stabbed, all of these things taking place. Rastafari women are being, robbed, people robbing them. One time these things would not happen. But the demons, the creatures out there, when they see that this unity is not united, not strong, that's when they start to creep in, and they will look at the Rastafari woman as prey. So one of the things I have to do as Rastafari man is to be strong, is to come together, is to provide that protection, is to unite so that the world outside know that our queens are loved and protected, and they'll know that by how we treat our queens. If we treat them idolful, esteem them, then the outside world are going to do the same. So that protection is number three. But these are just things from a male point of view. This is Women History Month. We want to hear from the royal queens in the Lion Pride. We have about 25% of the platform is now women. So we're trying to increase that to at least 40%. So, Sistrin, I know the item are shy. Trust me, I know the shyness. And you don't want to comment on YouTube, you just watch. Please, today is your day. We need to know, because this is going to help us to create the programming that serves the item. You know what I mean? We want to serve the item. You know what I mean? Just as we serve the Rastafari Brethren, Rastafari Independent, non-aligned media, we want to create something that serves an audience.
When Rastafari repair the damage, some way we gotta find a way to manage. You ain't gotta change for me. No need to explain to me. Hey yo, things change, things fall apart. Sometimes you gotta live with a broken heart. We survived as slaves, seen days to start. We crossed ocean waves, some were thrown to sharks. We survived that part, survived that ship. Now we got trouble with relationships. She wanna be a bad, some wanna be rich. Nobody want family life, we got trick. Got problems from slavery time, that's not fixed. Still we drop it like it's hot, caught by the matrix. In slavery times, I know I couldn't protect. You must admit, I know you lost a little respect. And I know that I had to fight back. You had to watch my manhood under attack. And if I tried to react, killed her locked in a cage. The same rules still apply in the cyber age. Hey, yo, you ain't gotta change for me. In fact, no need to explain to me. I'm a king, that's why it's plain to see. You're a queen, not who you claim to be. Hey, yo, you ain't gotta change for me. In fact, no need to explain to me. I'm a king, that's why it's plain to see. You're a queen, not who you claim to be. She got a back tattoo, her neck tattoo, got a nose ring and a tongue ring too. Got a makeup mask that I can see through. I know what's under the weave and all the hair blue. She got kinky hair, just like mine. First queen of the earth, so I know she divine. Plus she fine, but I watch her decline. Black queen socialize like a concubine. She said tomorrow that the sun will shine. Drown her sorrows in a bottle of wine. Some say these are signs of the times. My elders say these are wonders and signs. She say she need a big behind. I say you don't need a thing. She say I'm on the line. I say you ain't gotta change for me, but we both gotta change for the little babies, yo.